Hello and welcome to this video. My name's David Thorne. In this C programming tutorial, lesson number 2, I'm going to give you an introduction to the printf function in the C programming language. So without any further ado, let's get started. As I'm always a fan of example first or demonstration first rather than explanation, let's get straight into this demonstration. Okay, so as the previous video, if you haven't seen it, we printed out basically hello world to the console. We're going to remove this, this world, and we're also going to remove this hello, and we're going to replace both of them with a percentage sign and an S, okay? And let's just, for the sake of it and for fun, let's just compile this right now to show you what error we might or might not get. All right, so -o is the output file we're going to use, and then main.c is the input file, the file that we actually want to compile. So let's do this, and we get no errors, so it's fine. Now these are placeholders, all right, for text that we want to display. And what we can do here is we can say David and Thorne. So if we now recompile this and we run our application once again, you now see we get David Thorne. So this information here, this variable, I'm not going to use that. This information here, these letters are going to get replaced into that, followed by a space, and the same is going to happen for Thorne here. Now, if we now do this and D, right, and we'll say, let's say age, and we'll say name here, and we'll say age here, and let's compile this again. You can now see that we've got conversions, more conversions than data arguments. That's because we've got 3 placeholders here, but we've only got 2 additional conversions, arguments that are going to get placed into this. So what we have to do is we need to add another one. Now, age is obviously, I'm 44, so I'm going to write 44 in here, and the percentage D is saying to give me like a number. I'm just going to say number for now. It's something different. It's called integer, but we're going to say number for now. And if you do know what I'm talking about, then it's integer is what that means. Or we could also say I as well. All right, but we're going to leave it as D. So now let's recompile this, and we should get no errors. We can run our application, and as expected, we get name and then David Thorne dash age at 44. And just for the sake of clarity, let's change it to percentage sign I as well, and let's put a new line here, and let's remove this dash, and let's recompile. So gcc-o to name the output file, and then so main.c for the input files. Recompile it, and let's rerun the application once again, and now you can see we get name and then David Thorne. It goes to a new line, and then get age 44. So the I or the D is basically the same. Now there are a few other things that we could do. We could say then the initial, let's just say the first initial, and from here what we want to say is just the first letter, all right? And in here we're going to say then we're going to say D, all right? Let's recompile this once again, and you can see here that it specifies a type int, but the argument has type char, okay? So this is because of the quotes, and we'll get to this later, right? But we have to change this to D, all right? And like I said, we'll get to this later, but just remember the error here, and we run this again, and we say main, and we now get what we wanted, all right? But we'll do a new line here too, and let's just recompile it quickly again, and run the program again, and we get the initial. Yeah, and we get here C. So this is saying it's a char, all right, and it's basically a single letter. Now in C programming, a char is a number, right, rather than a letter. It's yeah, that's all you just have to understand right now. But that's for another tutorial, right? But so this is basically a very, very short, sharp introduction to printf. Now we could put an arbitrary amount of placeholders inside this first string. This is a literal string of characters, and we could use as many placeholders as we want, but as long as you do that amount of placeholders after it, all separated by a comma, all right? And they need to go in the order of what you've given them. So if you say you want a string first, it needs to be a string first, and then a string second, a string second. I or D is then for an integer, it needs to come next, and so on and so forth, all right? And obviously it needs to be, the line needs to be stopped by, ended with a semicolon. Okay, that's this second tutorial done. It was just a basic introduction to printf. We're going to use it a whole bunch more in the future, and we're going to get into all the different data types, etc., etc. So 44 is an integer data type. A char is a data type, which we saw here. This star, I'm not going to talk about it for now, but we saw the data type in here as well. Okay, with that said, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and bye-bye.